Hello friends, welcome back. In previous lectures, we have installed Git on Windows and Linux system. Now we should introduce ourselves to Git. Why? Because we have two developers, right? We don't know which developer is working from which system. Whenever I push my changes, we need to track it. Who has done that changes, right? That is the reason you should introduce yourself to Git. We should execute these commands to track our username and email ID. The command we should execute is git config -- global user.name followed by the username. In my case, I'm going to give as a Shankar, and a similar way user.email we should provide the email ID. And please remember about this email ID. We are going to discuss about this one in the later point of time. In my case, I'm going to use arsr319@gmail.com. And this is one-time activity. Nothing but you don't do it frequently. Once you have installed Git, you should do this activity so that that system is registered on your name, and you can change it whenever you need. Once you have installed Git, it is always best practice that providing the username and email ID. You can display the username and email ID with the same command without the extra parameter. Okay. First, we'll display the username and email ID what is there in our Linux system. Then we'll do the same thing on our Windows. So this is my Linux system. Let me clear the screen and git config -- global user.name. I'm just checking what is the username is there. So far there is no username. Similar way user.email. If I check, there is no email attached to this one. So let's set up username and email ID for this one. So username I'm just giving developer2, because as I said, I'm going to use my Linux system as a developer2 system. And git config, okay, I have already typed above, developer2@gmail.com. Just I'm giving developer2@gmail.com. That's it. I have set up username and email ID on my Linux system. Now let's execute again. User.email ID you can see, and similar way user.name, and you can see developer2. Same thing I need to do on my Windows system. This is Windows system, right? Git Bash. And if you have any confusion, what you can do, go to start button, search for Git Bash. Okay. So you can see here, this is Git Bash desktop app. Just right click on this one and open file location. So this is where the Git Bash is installed. I'm going to just create a shortcut on my desktop. So send to desktop. So now if I go to my desktop, you can see here Git Bash is there. You just double click to open this Git Bash. That's it. Let me increase the font size. And now if I execute the same commands over here, git config -- global user.name, you can see I have already configured my name as a Shankar, and also email, okay, arsr319@gmail.com. I'm not going to change these details as a developer1, because just think that Shankar as a developer1 and developer2 is developer2 only. Okay, that's how we can introduce ourselves to Git. And also you can see this information with one more command, that is git config -- list. It is going to display all the configurations which are done on the Git. So if I display this one, let me scroll it down. So let me scroll a little bit down. So here you can see here, this is from the starting of your command, and here you can see user.email and name as well. Apart from this, few other values are there. You can understand this at the later point of time. That's all for this lecture, and see you in the next lecture.